Guys, okay, this is first day's class session because we have want to learn the basics of the PCB. So only recreating this session. Okay. Second, first of all, our training course is start when design name is started as a PCB design training. Okay, no issues. Other than that, you want to view our course overview. Okay, now course overview is nothing but what are the things you are going to learn from this course, online course. Okay, first of all, introduction to PCB. Okay, what is mean by PCB and why PCBs are used, and what are the advantages and what are the applications by using PCB design, and how it can be generated as a hardware board. Okay, other than that, Altium, installing Altium is nothing but there is a lot of process, but the installation is carried by your own because of there is a lot of videos are available in social medias like YouTube. Based on that, you can install your LTM. Other than that, schematic design is a connection diagram before the layout design. Okay, which means it act as a connection diagram like the connection between each components by using wiring. Okay, once you can complete the schematic, then you want to import the schematic into PCB layout. Okay, other than that, you want to know about the PCB layout. Yeah, a PCB layout is nothing but the if we import the schematic design into a layout, means the design which occurred in that time is known as the PCB layout. The layout contains a footprint. The in a schematic design, the symbol can able to connect, but in a PCB layout design, the footprints can able to connect. Okay, instead of symbol here, the footprints can be available. Other than that, manufacturing file is nothing but Gerber file. Okay, Gerber file means it is I already said that it means manufacturing file is nothing but it's a final stage of our design from a designer. Okay, it is a input file for the fabrication purpose. Okay, by the input from these file, the fabricator can able to design the board. Okay, design or fabricate the board by the based of number of layer, which material, and what are the components, bill of materials. Yeah, bill of material, I also said that bill of materials consist of what are the things which we are used in our design. Okay, this is the course overview. Other than that, course objective. In course objective, you want to learn about the understand the basic PCB design concept and components. Okay, now what is mean by basic component concept and components means what are the purpose of PCB and why we are using PCB design. Okay, and components. Components is nothing but component designs also, which means symbol creation and footprint creation. So only we are mentioned as a basic understand of components also. Okay, other than that, learn the interference and the tool of ultimate designer. Okay, tools are not only going to design. Okay, in the main tool we are going to use is ultimate designer, so only we are mentioned here, which means let us in further we can in future we can discuss about how to uh, uh, draw or creating a schematic or footprint in a Altium designer. Okay, other than that, create schematic diagrams and component libraries. Okay, these are the primary things. Okay, guys. Other than the same time, creating a schematic design and component libraries. Okay. I also mentioned that schematic diagrams are connection diagrams which we want to create. Okay. In component libraries is nothing but a, library which contain different types of symbols and footprints within it. Okay. In Altium, the component libraries consist of symbols and footprints. Not it combines with one another. Okay, we does not want to integrate it, already integrate, but most of the thing without any license we want to create the components symbol and as well as a library and integrate it. Okay, This is the further future of LTM. Other than that, the fourth point is perform PCB layout, component placement, and routing. I also mentioned that what is mean by layout. Layout is a connection of footprints, which we want to connect the footprint through traces. Traces is nothing but uh, a copper pathway which connects the one footprint pad to the another footprint pad. Okay. Okay. Other than that, component placement. Component placement is nothing but once you can listen the first class means you can understand component. For example, you have a 16 pin connector. Okay, pin connectors, which mean connecting pins, and in that you can place the connect the wires. Okay. In that, in a board, square shape board, you want to, you can able to place that in which area. If you can place that in center means there is a very confusion during the connection. Okay, so these and all the main concept of a component placement. Okay, you want to place the 16 pin row or column in a edge of the board. In this case, you can reduce the complexity and there is a no uh, confusion during the wiring. Okay, and also the component placements, for another example, you want to place a high thermal high heat efficient heat spreading components in the edge or outside the board, because there is a if there is a any ICs near the heat providing component means the ICs get damaged. Okay, and we want to provide a proper thermal relief to the PCB. Okay, in this case we want to provide wires, heat sinks, like and all, etc. Okay, and routing. What is mean by routing? Routing is a nothing but during the layout, in the layout design you want to connecting component to component. No, that is called as a routing. Okay, which means creating a copper path, which means in top layer or bottom layer. So that is known as routing. Okay, apply design rule check for error free design. First of all, a design rule check is mainly focusing for evaluating our design, for okay, evaluating our design. If there is any error or any other violations are breaked. Okay, in case there is a error or any violation, we want to mitigate them before we want to generate it as a Gerber. Okay, first of all, this is the rule of design rule check, and also there is an error rule check. Okay, in error rule check you want to there is an checking of schematic design. Okay, schematic sheet, you want to electrical rule check, or both are same. Electrical rule check, you want to you can able to check your uh, schematic if there is any error or not. Okay. Okay, this is the purpose of design tool check. At the same time, generate a Gerber and fabrication file for the PCB manufacturing. Okay, I already said that Gerber file is a fabrication or a manufacturing file. Okay, it is an input for them, so only there it is a last part of our course. Okay, so only we are placed in the bottom. Okay, other than that, the development complete a PCB project for a schematic to final output. Okay, it is nothing but okay. I always say that what is PCB. Okay, let us see what is PCB. PCB is a board used to mechanically support and electrically connected electronic components. Okay, it is nothing but once you are using a PCB, you can able to assemble your components without any collapse or any congestion. Okay, in case you are compare them, if you are place the components in breadboard or any other wiring connection, it is very messy. Yeah, in order to reduce that, in order to reduce that, you are going for the PCB. It provide a mechanical strength to that board. Yeah, due to that the board can be fixed and rigid. Okay, in order to reduce the congestion or confusion during the placement. Yeah, mainly it, and more components are connected in a one particular board, so that is a very easy for the product development also. Okay. Yeah, I already mentioned that PCB provides a structured path for electrical signal and power between a component like resistors, capacitors, and microchips. Yeah, which means with the components which are placed in PCB is known as like this. Okay, the PCB consists of many layers. Yeah, based on the structure. Okay, let us see what are the structures and what are the things in next slide. Types of PCB: single layer PCB, a double layer, and multi layer. Okay, it is nothing but a single layer PCB which contains only copper layer in the one side of the PCB. It should be say top layer or it is bottom layer, but not in both layer. It single layer consists of only one side. Okay. Now, one side copper sheet, in that only the component should be placed and the traces are should be drawn. Okay, drawing. Furtherly we want to draw. Okay, there is a no it is mainly focusing for the small designs. Okay, small designs are very easy designs. One there is a here you can see that only one copper layer, so only it has it is known as a single layer PCB. Another one is a double layer PCB. In double layer PCB, a PCB with a copper layer with a both side, which means a top layer and bottom layer. Both layer consist of a connective traces, which means the two layers are not have a different circuits. Okay, the both layer have a same circuit, but the components has been placed in top and bottom to reduce the congestion. Congestion means nothing but a nearly placing, and there is once you look the circuit means it's very messy, and you want to there is a any traffic like that. Okay, so in order to reduce the presence of more number of components in the same layer, we want to split the component and place them in a one layer, top and bottom layer. So there is a they are have enough space to the board, the PCB. Okay, placement of the component at the same time, the both the top and bottom signals are a big connectivity. Okay, in order to connect to the top layer and bottom layer, we are placing the vias. Okay, the vias is nothing but a vertical interface axis. The guys who are know about the vertical interface axis is nothing but which connects the top and bottom, which has a it is vias is nothing but a hole which is drilled and it is electroplated. Okay, electroplated means which can able to carry a signal or current from the top layer to bottom layer. Okay, this is the purpose. And multi-layer consists of more number of layers, which means 4, 6, 8 like that. It is not consist of odd numbers. Okay, only one layer is only odd. Other than that, 2, 4, 6, 8, that and all only gets even. Multi-layer consists of different planes. Okay, planes are consist of power plane, ground plane, and copper signal plane like that and all. Okay, maximum the power value, the use of ground plane and power plane is power plane can be able to provide the power, and ground plane can be able to use for grounding purpose. Grounding purpose is nothing but if in case there is any other extra voltage there should be provided, means it get absorbed with the ground plane. Okay, this is the main work of the multi-layer. Okay, these are the layers which contains in the multi-layer board. Okay, other than that, advantages is nothing but a compact size, reduce compact size means in by with using PCB we can able to fit the all component in particular size itself. Okay, there is no need of any other extra size should be required. Okay, if you get planned and place the component near by near and get connection, get routing through the traces, means there is a no issue. The only issue is you want to check the space between the traces and the component. Okay, that means a clearance value. Then we can easily get fabricated, and the size of the board also compact. Okay, that only the main point here. First point, high reliability. High reliability means a strong connection, reduce loss wiring problem. Okay. Losses wiring problem means high reliability means the connections, if in case there is a temporary connection, means it can able to unplugged, so there is should be any error or any mismatching of value. In order by comparing to a PCB, it can be completely reduced. Okay, next one is easy assembly. easy assembly is a component can be mounted quickly and accurately. Okay, components can be mounted quickly and accurately means in fabrication process in PCB there is a lot of automotive robots are involved. Okay, due to that the marking, which means the R1 means resistor 1, R2 means resistor 2, C1 C2 means capacitor 1 and 2. Okay, these marking are placed in the board, which is called as overlay or reference designator. Okay, mention that word, reference designator. Reference designator means if you have a 10 resistors means each one have a R1, R2, R3, R4. Okay, due to that there is a easy you can able to place the component easily, because the bill of material consists of, if you have a R1 and R3 as a 10 kilo ohm resistance means it is mentioned as a 10 kilo ohm. Okay, in case you have a R3, R2 and R5 as a 22 kilo, that and all means there is a separate value. By these understanding, there is a the component placement should be easy during the assembly. Okay, this is the main value. Okay, uh, in AOI, automatic inspection, object automatic object inspection, there is a any uh, lag in the board can be analyzed. Okay, it can be furtherly discussed. Other than that, the fourth point is less noise is nothing but Ratnapriya, that they said that it is caused by the bending of wires. Okay, in normal connection it is occurred due to the bending of wire, but in PCB the noise can be occurred by n number of things. Okay, like impedance mismatching, length mismatching, component traces, pitch between the traces, pitch between the components pad like that. Okay, spacing between the traces. அப்புறம் next வந்து providing a long parallel traces. Parallel traces means the two traces are traveling long together. Okay, if there is a that type of traces means there is a easily EMF, EMI is easily present in it. EMI is nothing but a electromagnetic interface. Okay, to reduce these type of errors, we can place the decoupling capacitor, pull up resistor, and that and all. Okay, no issues. Let us see in further. Okay, next fifth one is a better performance. Yeah, compared to any other breadboard connection or simple connection, PCB has a more efficiency and stability. Okay, other than that, low maintenance. Yeah, once again, I already delivered you the idea about the Crompton and LED, local LED. Yeah, compared to Crompton LED, local LED has a less lifespan for the cheap raw material selection. Okay, based on that, the maintenance also reduced. For example, if you have a cheap LED means there is a want to replace that. Okay, in case of the standard material selection or any other, there is a you have a you know that the based based on the warranty, the LED bulbs are live long about maximum about 3 years. Yeah, 3 to maximum 3 or 2.5 years. Where local LED is up to 6 months only. So these are the things which are to consider in a PCB design. Okay, other than that, application where the PCBs are used. Mainly the PCBs are focuses or you can see that you can see in your mobile. Once you then broke your remote, it's the board which has an one end has a green and another one end has a brown, because which means it has a single layer PCB board which carries only signal in a top layer, which is the from the button. Once you can press the button can touch in the PCB board. So only the signal should be transmitted, and the light from the remote can be transmit the signal to the set-top box. Okay, this is the working. At the same time, I tell only connection of board. At the same time, in these component also the connections are similar, and the PCB can plays a major role. Where means computer and IT device. Without any PCB, there is no IT device or any computer device, because the motherboards or any other component placements area should be done in a PCB. There is no alternative for a PCB till now. Okay. Next is automotive electronics. Okay, in automotive vehicles and all, also there is a controller and any other motherboard should be placed. Okay, in that area the PCBs plays major role. In this area, nowadays there is a many researchers are going. Okay, to overcome the reduce the size of the PCB. Okay, in case they reduce the size means they also reduce the shape of the bike, and it should be reduce some weight also. Maximum weight should be reduced means the customer has more eager to buy them. Okay, so only they are focusing. Other than that, medical equipments means that ECG machine, MRI machines, and which means the thermometer. Like in a digital thermometer, also there should be a small PCB which is inserted it. Okay, like, and all devices are integrated with the PCB. Okay, other than that, industrial automation, which means large machineries and robotics that also have a PCB inside it. And telecommunication device means a router. Router means consist of whichever provide internet. Yeah, that device also. Maximum all electronic components consist of PCB. Okay, let us see next. Electronic components. I also said that electronic components are considered as a passive device and active device, broadly classified as. In a passive device, which means the components do not require the external power to operate. Okay, which in a PCB we are considered a resistor, capacitor, inductor, which means they are providing a same and a passive work. Okay, which means for example, capacitor are used for storing the current. Yeah, storing the current, which means uh, for example it does work of a water tank. Okay, it absorbs the energy or during the flow, and while it gets stops, it can provide the current. Okay, like that same and all. Resistor also so doing the same work. It act as a reducer. Reducer means nothing but if it regulates the voltage, not regulating. It providing the it act as a reducer, which means if you have certain amount of current to flow means it reduce that current and provide required amount of current after passing through it. Then inductor can store energy in a magnetic field. Okay, capacitor can store the energy in electrical field. It has a magnetic field. Transformer, you know, transformer can perform a operation like a step up and step down. So only it has a act as a passive. Other than that, the another one is active. Active components is nothing but a which the components required external power to operate. Other than that external power, as well as it can uh, it and perform amplifying also. Amplifying of the it can have, act as a amplifier also, which means amplifier is nothing but it can perform two operations. Okay, in that transistor and ICs is nothing but integrated circuit, and LEDs. Okay, LEDs also a form of diode. Okay, normal diodes are allows current to flow in only one direction. Transistor used for mainly you can know that transistor has a three pins which is differentiated into BJT and FET, bipolar junction transistor, and field emitting transistor. Okay, uh, field effective transistor. Okay, other than that, okay, you know ICs consist of a small chip containing many electronic components, nothing but it integrates with integrates with more number of gates. Okay, gates is nothing but you can know that and or X or NOR. Okay, it can used here to perform many operations. Okay, these are the active components. Okay, um, guys, then that the electromechanical components is nothing but these components involve mechanical movement with an electrical signals, which in you can guess that mechanical movement with electrical signals means the main concept is here is switches. Okay, switches means the mechanical movement you want to press the switch. Okay, which means pull up switch means you want to press the switch, and then it get on. Okay, like that, connectors also you want to get connect the mechanically, then only it get electrical signal. Okay, these are the known as electromechanical components. Other than that, PCB mounting types. The main thing in this session is PCB mounting types. Mounting types is classified into two types. Okay, through hole components, which is THT. Okay, in here the components are get placed in through the hole which are already drilled by the reference of that component. Okay, here the lids are inserted in the hole and get soldered in the bottom side. Okay, it is nothing but the holes are drilled through the data sheet. Data sheet is nothing but the data sheet consists of all datas of that component. By referring that data sheet, we can drill the hole size. Because for example, the through hole resistor, you can see that the center has a different color coding, and each side of that different lids. In that, the lids diameter is more important for the drilling process. If we are giving the actual diameter is 0.02, if we created 0.015, means it can't able to fit in the drill. Okay, so only the drillings are most important, and you want to correctly see the data sheet for the further information. Okay, and surface mount components mounted directly on the PCB surface. Surface mount components are like a box shape, which has each end has a pins like a square cube. In that, pins has been placed directly in the board. Okay, these are the difference between THT and SMT. Okay, most of the components are comes under these type. But in further, there is a lot of components which have to seen in another packages also. Okay, yeah. This is the mainly focused on first class. Let us explain what are the additional things I teach to you in the first class. Okay, wait a minute. I will enable the Chrome, and I will show you the what are the things which are